Thanks for tuning in again. Today we'll be talking about synthetic drugs. First of all, what are they? They're man-made, chemically altered substances. Sometimes you'll hear the word designer drugs. That's because they are altered all the time and we don't know what we're getting. That's a big emphasis. That when they say chemicals and molecules, you'll hear about spice, you'll hear about bath salts, and even this new one called Molly. There's no actual recipe for what they are. They're all made up of different chemicals and substances. So for example, when it comes to spice, spice is a plant sprayed with compounds, sprayed with chemicals. There are thousands of compounds that are out there, and we have a lot of different state laws happening, so we really don't know what's in each baggie per se. A lot of the times people want to compare it to marijuana, and it's nothing like marijuana. We'll talk about that when we get to effects. Bath salts are not what you're thinking. They're not a bath product. It's actually a slang term or a code word for a drug called cathinone. Cathinone is a stimulant that's found in a plant, and when altered makes a really strong meth. Sometimes people have heard of crystal meth. I would explain that bath salts just sounds like crystal. It's another form for a drug that gets snorted up your nose. And when it comes to mollies, it's been in the news a lot lately. It's classified as a synthetic ecstasy, but the reality is some of our labs, the findings with lab results are that it's containing bath salts. Very dangerous stuff. Other than bath salts and spice, you're going to hear other names associated with these synthetic drugs. You might hear things like plant fertilizer, insect repellent. I've even seen souvenir, potpourri, incense. They're truly all just code names, so they're actually sold under those names and not drugs, and that's how a lot of the times they're legally sold in our community. Scary that they're legally sold. They're also not tested. We don't know anything about the long-term effects of the bath salts, the spice, the mollies, and all the other new ones that are coming up. Not tested. Let me give you a quick example and comparison. There was a drug in the 50s called thalidomide. This drug was tested, marketed, and approved in 46 countries. It seemed to alleviate nausea, so they prescribed it to pregnant women. 10 years in, they confirm it's caused birth defects, deformities. My point? This was a tested drug, and they found out 10 years later. Imagine what we might find out with bath salts, spice, and Molly. Unknown chemicals producing unknown effects. Legal doesn't mean safe. This is not a safe drug. Synthetic drugs are prevalent everywhere. And according to the Arizona Youth Survey in 2012, here in Tempe, nearly 11% of our 8th, 10th, and 12th graders report that they've tried synthetic drugs in their lifetime. The Arizona Youth Survey also reported that almost 6% of our 8th, 10th, and 12th graders had used synthetic drugs in the last 30 days. Why is that significant? This is the first time that the Arizona Youth Survey had actually asked about synthetic drugs because they're so new to our communities. What are the signs and effects of synthetic drugs? Well, first of all, you have to break them down. They're all different. And again, with all these chemicals, I think the big point is there's no guaranteed outcomes. When it comes to spice, I have to emphasize that spice is not marijuana. A lot of places are still calling it synthetic marijuana. Synthetic's correct, but the effects are not like marijuana. Someone who uses spice is going to be experiencing panic attacks, paranoia, delusional, hallucinations happen. They hear voices, they see things, they're talking to themselves. A lot of the times our nurses, our first responders in the schools and the communities, they'll say the immediate telltale signs are heart rate is up, rapid heartbeat, blood pressure is elevated, and a lot of times they're sick and throwing up. So those are some dead giveaways when it comes to spice. Keep in mind there are so many chemicals out there that each little baggie that's sold out there, different. Different chemicals in each one equals different effects. Some states are even reporting kidney failure. Bath salts, extreme meth, agitated easily, paranoid, psychosis, hearing voices, seeing things. And when I say seeing things, a lot of the reports are alien-like, demonic figures, suicidal, homicidal tendencies, Sadly, those are some of the first reports with synthetic drugs that people immediately harm themselves or are likely to harm others. The DEA even recently deemed synthetic drugs an imminent threat to public safety. So, extreme signs and symptoms. Just be careful, be aware, and get help for someone that's using synthetic drugs. Where are synthetic drugs coming from? The question is, where are they not coming from? Because everyone can log online and order them as a research chemical, as a plant fertilizer, as an incense, some of the code words we talked about. So they're able to obtain it online, and not just at specialty smoke shops, but novelty shops, convenient marts, little mom and pop shops. This stuff's just about everywhere. And again, overseas, people are buying it, they're learning about it. Just be knowledgeable that it doesn't always look like drugs. It's sold as some of those code words all over our communities. So now that you're overwhelmed hearing about all these synthetic drugs, you probably want to know where to get help. Well, I'm going to direct you to TempeCoalition.org and also the MesaPreventionAlliance.org. There at the top of the page, you'll be able to click on a tab that says East Valley Synthetic Drugs Task Force. It might be a little acronym, EVSDTF. Go there. Here in the East Valley, we're heavily focused on educating and eliminating synthetic drugs. And these are some really great resources for you to gain more knowledge about the dangers that exist in our communities with synthetic drugs. Thank you.